The story of Bissell Point actually started over a century ago. There was a water treatment plant here for the city of St. Louis, and when they didn't need it anymore, MSD moved in. The plant opened up in 1970, and before that, all the sewage from St. Louis just basically went out to the river with no treatment at all. When we started in 1970, we only had primary treatment. Basically, the wastewater would flow into the tanks, the solids would settle to the bottom, and then we would pump the water out to the river. In 1992, we started up the secondary treatment process, and this further reduced the contaminants in the water. 3 years later, we opened up a dedicated hauled waste facility to deal with wastewater from sources not connected to the sewer. And then in 2014, we added another layer of treatment, disinfection. And now the water's cleaner than it's ever been.
In 60 seconds or less, how does the process work?
The process, well, there's 4 main stages.
Wastewater from around the city comes into this building right here. We have 535 horsepower pumps. We pump the water up over 100 feet into the header.
These are the grit tanks. These are the first tanks we send the flow through. Here we want to slow it down a little bit, get the heavy stuff to fall to the bottom. The next step are the comminutors. Comminutors are big garbage disposals. They chew up the trash into smaller pieces. It continues on through the system. The next step is the primary settling tanks. There we slow it down really, really slow so it has time for the sludge to settle to the bottom of the tanks.
The wastewater is pumped to the top of the trickling filter towers to where it's distributed over the media, which creates a microorganism mass on it, which eats the wastewater and cleans it. And then it's channeled to the final clarifiers for our final settling and skimming.
After that, the water's really clear, but it's not clean enough. We add chlorine to kill any remaining bacteria. Then we add a chemical called bisulfite to neutralize that chlorine to protect the river. Most of what we do here is done naturally in a river in 2 or 3 days. We do it in 6 to 8 hours. That wouldn't be possible without the technology that we have and a team of people dedicated to the mission.
My name is Dennis Jones. I've been here at Bissell Point for 44 years. I started as a temporary treatment plant attendant. What I do now is I manage this tool crib where all those mechanics and electricians and operators come to get the tools they need. I'll remind them that they must return them clean and they must tell me whether they're broke or not.
And you better not lose a tool or Dennis will come and find you.
When was the last time somebody didn't return a tool?
About a month ago.
How did that go?
Well, we tracked it down. About 97% of it comes back. The people are great here, from management on down.
My name's Jabbar Thomas. I'm an assistant operations supervisor in the maintenance department at Bissell Treatment Plant. I started at MSD in 2009 as an intern out of the SIUE program and thought that, okay, this is something I would like to get into and establish a career in. Became operator trainee, became a licensed operator, became a senior operator, became an assistant operations supervisor, and those were all levels of progression in an individual in his 20s, starting out a career. If you're willing to put in the work and learn a trade, this is a great place.
My name is Sophia Wilson. I've been at MSD for 3 years and 3 months now.
My name is Chris Tomlinson. I've worked at the Bissell plant for almost 3 months.
Today I will be taking off an inspection plate on number 7 swing pump.
It's a little more mechanically involved than a lot of the stuff here, which I enjoy more. There is the drawback with the smell and the sludge.
Sludge is constantly running out and filling up and spraying on you, and you have to cover your face and your mouth.
I don't really think there is a good position. All the positions are pretty much in the danger zone as far as getting covered.
I don't love it, but I do it because I know this is one of the main jobs that can literally save the plant.
If they're not running, then everything's not getting processed, and we'd have overflows and the waterways and all that would all be contaminated.
That's our job, to protect the public health, safety, and water environment.
I'm Jay Hoskins, and I oversee MSD's Environmental Compliance Division. We're based here at Bissell Point. We're the people who make sure no one's dumping anything into our rivers, streams, and sewers. We also help MSD comply with a very complex set of regulations. One way we do that, we collect hundreds of samples and analyze for thousands of pollutants every day. After all, we make clean water. That's what we do.
Bissell Point is also the home of our Bissell Pump Work Group. They are responsible for operating and maintaining the 28 flood protection facilities that reside on the Mississippi flood wall. When it rains and the river is up, our staff are on the job 24/7, 365 days a year, providing flood protection to the city of St. Louis residents who live near the flood wall.
You see, we're not just treating wastewater here at Bissell Point. We have a team of over 100 people, all working to protect our home, now and in the future. Speaking of the future, that's why you'll find things like our butterfly habitat and our native prairie grass here at Bissell. We're creating an environment for the wildlife that was here before the city grew up around it. And we're always trying to do what we do better. That's why we're replacing our comminutors with fine screens, which will remove more of the trash and debris. We're rehabbing our trickling filters so they will be more efficient. And we're replacing our 50-year-old incinerators with new fluidized bed technologies, which will drastically reduce emissions.
We are making sure that our footprint has the best impact that we can have on the air quality in this area, on our waterways, and we work hard to make sure that we are protecting the environment.
We've been protecting the public health, safety, and water environment here at Bissell Point for 50 years. Here's to the next 50 years.
Well, we gotta have clean water.